Hey there, Stephen Indrisano here, writer and creator of Shelterwood, a Suburban Gothic. If you enjoy the show and would like access to early and ad-free listening, please consider joining our Patreon community. Thank you for listening, and enjoy the show.
Shelterwood contains mature themes and graphic content that may not be suitable for all audiences. For a full list of content warnings, please check our transcript in the episode description. Listener discretion is advised. Last time on Shelterwood.
It's Nick. He's still making the podcast out there.
William and I would drive from house to house, meeting the unregistered residents of Shelterwood and checking addresses off of the unlist.
It was the construction of this prison that elevated Brewster to his visionary status.
That translates to 3 years in Shelterwood.
Last episode, we took a look at how Nick would come to spend his days in Shelterwood. This episode, however, we're going to follow Nick into his long nights. It's a fitting duality because when Nick wasn't cruising through Shelterwood with William Brewster, he was actively working against the Homeowners Association as a card-carrying member of the Young Documentarians. What you're about to hear is audio from a meeting months into Nick's time in Shelterwood. You can really hear, I think, the desperation starting to set in.
Hey, Nick. Welcome back.
Hey.
You get any good tape this week? I got some killer shit. Really messed up stuff.
Great, man. Happy for you.
You seem bad. Everything okay?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Well...
The Young Documentarians met twice weekly, Tuesday and Sunday nights. This allowed for time to collect new and strange evidence of Shelterwood's wrongness without burning out the group.
Hello, Adam. Nicholas. Welcome back.
Hey, Prof. I'm gonna go get the machine set up.
Please do.
Where's Adigale?
Right here, losers.
You're late. Is everything all right?
Yeah, my parents were still up for some reason, so I had to sneak out the back. I'm not sure why. It was weird. They were just sort of sitting in the kitchen in the dark, not talking or anything. Anyways, did you guys know the town hall has a basement?
What follows is a strange little ritual, a peer review process for video evidence of the worst of what Shelterwood has to offer in order to decide what should be released online. What you're about to hear is Adam's tape, which was the final submission for the night. Here's how it works. First, the footage is pitched to the group.
Okay, check this out. I was walking home from baseball practice, but I took the long way because I had some stuff on my mind. Walking through the outskirts always, calms my nerves or whatever. Anyways, I was going along when I heard this sound.
Everyone then watches together, offering their thoughts and critiques. This video in particular proved to be controversial, due in part to its graphic nature.
Jesus.
What's happening to her in there?
Nothing good. How gnarly is that blood, though?
Where is the door gone? I've been to that part of town. The houses are identical. Very Levitt town. The door on those models are always in the same place. It should be right there.
Who cares about some stupid door? What is happening to that woman?
The acoustics are weird, too. See, it looks like she's screaming, full belt, so there's just no way her voice should be so quiet, even through glass.
What you're missing here visually is as simple as it is upsetting. Just before dusk, in a flat part of town, a woman bangs her hands against a window of a one-story bungalow. She is inside the house, illuminated by Adam's flashlight. It's unclear how long she's been beating against the window, but her hands are raw, the skin worn away or peeled back, revealing the muscle and sinew below. The house has wood shingles, and the shingles are seeping a vicious red-brown substance that appears to be blood. A sold sign adorns the front lawn.
So, we're looking at multiple elements of entrapment. No way out physically or sonically, despite a clear view outside, but then what do the bleeding walls signify?
They don't have to signify anything. They're just scary.
Shut it off! Shut it off! Oh my god.
Yep, sorry. What's wrong?
Look! There!
What, where?
Her legs!
Oh, shit.
Oh, dear.
Solomon, God. The woman isn't standing at the window. She's becoming it. Her legs are flayed open, and the muscle and sinew spreading out are joining with the wood of the panel. Her ligaments have separated out into, well, threads would be the best way of describing it, I think. And those are weaving together, and, you know, I don't think she's trapped in the house. I think she's becoming it.
Thus the blood, then. A rebirth is occurring here. Perhaps the culmination of some dreadful wish to fade into the walls, the background, to become the very expression promised in property, consummated literally in blood. This woman appears to be, in a way, giving birth to her house, to herself.
Look, that thing she's doing with her hands, she's not just banging on the window, she's trying to push herself away.
So, this one's going into production for sure, right?
After some discussion, a vote is taken. Sometimes the process is quick. That video of Nick being chased by the house and ending up at the motel, for example, was approved with no comments or debate necessary. Though more controversial, this video, too, is among those chosen for dissemination.
Yes! Booyah!
Adam, tact, please.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Prof. I'm just, competitive.
Insensitive, more like it.
That too.
Go, please.
Right.
Don't be shocked, but he's, really into a cappella.
This is a warning. Shelterwood is not a safe place. There is no room for honor here. Do not come to Shelterwood.
And so, evidence of the rot at the core Shelterwood would be systematically released, week by week, month by month, seeping online and out into our world. It's a shockingly prolific system, despite the low membership. So far, Monica has cataloged well over 200 videos from the young documentarians. Nick, though, wasn't there for the work, per se. He wasn't there to dismantle the system or reveal the horrible things he saw. He was there for one reason, and one reason only. Saddie. Always, always Saddie.
Hey, so, before we pack it in, any leads?
Well, what do we have to report?
I'm sorry, Nick.
The yearbook idea was really good, but, she wasn't in any of the ones from the 2010s.
We looked really hard, dude.
Okay, well, did I say she might have changed her name? If she was running away from my parents and...
You mentioned that, yeah. So we cross-referenced all the girls in the pictures with the names at the back, and everyone was accounted for. No new or unexpected students.
Yeah, plus I was student president for a while, and I would have remembered a new singer-songwriter type, for talent shows and fundraisers and stuff.
Okay. All right. Drawing board. That's fine. I'm here till it's over. Till I find her. Do any of you have any ideas? For leads?
Nicholas, why don't you join me for a nightcap tonight? It's time to let the students rest up. I happen to know at least one of them has an exam tomorrow.
Don't remind me. I'm so screwed.
Oh! What class? Is it chemistry? I can help. I've taken that one like 8 times.
We'll see you next week, Nick. Hang in there.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I'm not far.
Look, do you have more to tell me about Saddie? Because if not, I might just head back.
I do and I don't. May I insist?
That's cryptic. Fine, yeah.
After the break, a heart-to-heart.
Tell me, Nicholas, because I am ever so curious. Are old fashions still in vogue on the other side? Everything here gets so cling-wrapped in timelessness that I can never tell what's an anachronism and what truly has staying power. Here! Clink, clink.
Oh. Well, I've ordered it at bars, if that counts.
That will have to do. Sit! So, what do you think of my home?
Dear listener, it would be dishonest of me to tell you that the home of Professor Jillian Rhys was anything but, well, hideous. Seemingly ripped from a 1965 Better Homes and Gardens magazine, the paneled walls of the house and verdant green tiled floors give the impression of being deep in some mythical jungle. We were in this jungle's oasis, a bright yellow conversation pit. It's nice.
You think it's hideous, don't you?
Why did you invite me here, Professor?
No. None of that professor business. Not while you're a guest in my home. Although, to be honest, I suppose I did want to give you a little bit of a lecture.
Regarding Saddie?
In a sense. Nicholas, did you notice anything odd about my home when you arrived?
Well, for Professor of the Gothic, your house is incredibly bright.
Ah, but I have yet to show you the dungeon. Okay, Lord, that was a joke, hon. No, think it over.
Okay, well, the neighborhood here is looking a little worse for wear. In fact, I didn't notice any neighbors out and about. We're practically in the outskirts.
Good. And why might it be significant that I live far from the thriving center of Shelterwood?
Because bad things happen out here.
Yes.
What was...
Never you mind that. Why do you suppose I live out here?
Well, you're rebelling against the HOA, so I imagine you gravitated towards a more secluded house.
Ah, close, Nicholas. Close. But you need to think less concretely. You must think like one in a dream. You're right. I've been misbehaving, working against the interest of Shelterwood. So, why am I out here rather than in the nice, normal, pristine part of the suburb?
Is it pushing you out?
Yes.
Okay, seriously,
Just
what is
the
that?
wind. Don't let it get to you. I don't think tonight is the night. Although I suppose one never knows. Well, What are you waiting for? Drink.
So, what does this have to do with Saddie?
I'm trying to tell you! Do not acknowledge that.
Okay. So, you didn't used to live in the outskirts, and now you do.
Yes. Did you know that I actually live in an unlisted property? When I came here, I didn't want to be found. I was running, you know? So, if you continue your search, you're bound to end up here again, looking for Saddie. I've heard that you interview the people that you visit with William. It's a small town, you know? He's a powerful man. You've built a fine little reputation as an interesting person. Nosy, but driven. So, interview me.
Okay, sure. Who are you?
My name is Dr. Jillian Rhys. My story starts in the 1930s, when I was just a precocious little girl. I lived a charmed life for a time. My family was old money, New England. There was no shortage of dolls and dresses, horses, toys. I was an only child. We lived in a Victorian mansion in North Haven, Connecticut. I'm told it's been divvied up into apartments now, but at the time it felt like a castle to call my own. And my parents, rest their souls, they gave me everything they could of joy and brightness. What I loved more than anything was to read, to lose myself in some story of gallantry. Fiction was my first love, and first love always burns too hot. My childhood melted away under that heat. Education, Nicholas. Education is everything. The kids call me a professor, and so I was, for a time. It was rare enough for a woman to hold a tenured position. Oh, thank God for the women's colleges. But as you know, those who come to Shelterwood do so because something is wrong. Something is missing, perhaps. A gaping hole in the psyche which demands to be sutured shut. I had one such wound, and its name was liberation. I tried to plug it with domesticity. Okay, I will skip the boring bits. I met a boy, faculty at a different school. He was conventionally handsome and didn't require my body often. We wed. Existence is horribly paced, you know? One moment I was running riot through the neighborhood sparrows, and the next I had a squawking little bird of my own. And a husband I was supposed to adore. He told me I had to give up my position at the university. It was radical enough for a woman to hold a tenured post in literature, of all things. But a mother? No. I had to take care of the child. And there was still that wound. I was convinced that if I changed, if I could be that model wife, that doting mother, that woman, it would go away. This was right in the midst of the women's lib movement, you know? But I had missed the ship. Too old for radical new ideas. And too young to believe them to be pure folly. Or, perhaps that's what I tell myself, to soothe the ache of all those wasted years. My life became diapers and dusting and brandy while hubby wasn't home. But my soul still lacked something.
So, how did you get here in this, cozy home in the outskirts of Shelterwood?
I owe that to the Gothic. Have you ever read Hop Frog? Oh, it's a wonderful, horrible little story. A deformed jester tricks his grotesque royal handlers into a trap of tar and fire. Something in its violence and ugliness spoke to me. You see, I had never read the darker classics of the canon. I had always been more interested in high literature and, the occasional folly. But what I needed, what fed me, was the macabre. While my child slept, and husband dearest debated moral philosophy with his protégés, I devoured the works of Poe, and then the Brontes. Austen taught me to yearn. Du Maurier taught me the truth of an anguished whimper. Gilman, an open-throated scream. When I finally read The Haunting of Hill House, well, it's like this. The appeal of the Gothic, romance, horror, take your pick, is inevitability. Things are not as they should be. Something is rotten in Denmark. Someone took your cup of stars, and so on and so forth. You are missing something. Until, one day, you discover that something is somewhere out there. In the countryside, maybe, past the ruined churchyard. Take a left at the moving topiary, you can't miss it. That fear you begin to feel, the pervasive wrongness of your journey, is itself a sign that you're on the right path. You can taste the smoke in the air long before the fire ever starts. But you must keep going. You simply cannot go back. You've already noticed, accepted how broken and mundane your life is, so how? How could you go back? There is only forward in the Gothic, even as it gazes upon the past, hypnotized by some malignant history, a ghost in the attic, a bloated corpse in the cellar. For you, there is only momentum, only promise, the dream of a better life, of a better you. You know how the story will end. Simultaneously in both rapture and ruin, both heaven and the grave you earned to get there. Both freedom and the cage which inscribes it. Funny, it wasn't supposed to rain today.
What is that?
That's the door to the basement.
All right. What's down there?
I would like to tell you. But the truth is dangerous. The truth and the dream may not be able to coexist. I'm going to tell you the things you want to know, Nicholas. I'm going to do so in a way that I hope will keep this dream alive a little bit longer, but it is not a sure thing.
Okay. I'm ready.
I hope you are. The first truth: William Brewster is not on the board of directors. He is the board of directors.
Wait. But why would he...
Lie? About that? Who knows? I think he desires a certain image. It doesn't matter. Except that it does. Because it means that he has direct control over whatever magic this inhuman place has to give. And magic it is. Have no doubt about that. Which leads me to point 2. There are rules, as you have seen, that must be obeyed to live in Shelterwood. One who does not obey the rules, acts of rebellion, great and small, degrades the magic here, somehow. Thus, the outskirts. All these ruined houses. These faded, rotting things. Darling, I know. But he must be told. Hush now. Hush! These things you may have guessed at. But there is a third facet to life in Shelterwood that is so rarely spoken of that we ourselves often forget it. It is this. To own a home in Shelterwood, one that doesn't fall down around you, or worse, you must give up a fundamental part of yourself. That is how the payment is made, how the property is maintained. You must sign something away, something important. It is the cage you build to set yourself free.
I'm sorry, but what does this all have to do with Saddie?
God damn it, Nicholas, open your eyes! My dream is unraveling! My reality is cracking at the foundation, and you! I am risking everything for you, and you cannot fathom a world where something is more valuable than your grief. You've stumbled into a meat grinder, and all you can think to ask is whether your pig has come before you. I will give you what you want. But you will let me tell my story.
Okay. Tell your story, then.
It was his 6th birthday. Benjamin, my son. I was supposed to throw him a party. Husband Dearest was inviting the whole philosophy department. I had to make a cake. But we were out of eggs. Benji was playing with the neighbor's kid, and and I was going to drop some library books off on my way to the store. I took the car, and then I passed the library, and I just kept driving. And the store. I passed that too. And I was going well over the speed limit. And I needed to stop the car. But I didn't. I didn't have a map, but I knew where the highway was, and I drove until the tank was empty. It was twilight, summer, little lightning bugs flashing around. And I abandoned the car and walked along a country lane until I found a gate. It said, Shelterwood, Land of Dreams. And there was a man there with the kind of Yankee accent I remembered from my childhood. We used to go up to Maine, you know.
Wait, John Leslie?
Yes. He took me to dinner. And we stayed there for a long time, just talking. He explained that this was a place where dreams came true. And I believed him. Because dreams have to come true. They have to. He introduced me to the lead architect who showed me this house. Peculiar design. All the bookshelves are downstairs. I'm finding my ending! Do you understand? In the Gothic tradition, things resolve. They make sense. So this is what he gave me. The chance to try again and get it right. I am building a life here. I am going to get it right. I am going to have that doting husband and the child and the picket fence, and it's finally going to feel right. I am going to pour myself another drink.
What did you give up to sign the lease?
Aside from my child, I clipped my wings. No more flights of fancy. No more long drives. I am not allowed to want anything but this, or it all falls apart. Would you care to listen to some music? But then there's the students. So many have gone missing. Died, I presume. I can't ignore their absence. They sing to me. Sirens on rocky shoals.
Living alone in the world is a hard thing to do. Being friends isn't easy when they don't really know you. When you're afraid you're alone and upset.
That's her! That's Saddie, that's...
Filled with regret.
is it?
Remember this song?
It is. Please, just let it keep playing. Please.
Sure.
Remember this song. Remember this song. Remember this song. And sing. And not alone. Give me a call and I'll pick up the phone. I'm not alone. I'm not alone. I've got a melody, a dumb little song.
That's enough for now.
What? Why? That's her. That's definitely her.
I suspected it might be. Would you care to guess who gave me this record, Nicholas?
Who?
William Brewster.
What? The thing that burst out of Jillian Rhys's basement was easily 8, maybe 9 feet tall. It was half-baked somehow, proportions all exaggerated. Rippling musculature, splitting supple skin, an hourglass figure so extreme that it could barely hold itself upright. It was a pin-up model, drawn by an unpracticed artist, naked and in pain. Its full lips were drawn back in a grimace. It was beautiful and wrong. It dragged itself towards us, too weak and ill-constructed to stand.
You need to go, Nick. Take this record and remember what I told you.
What is that?
That is my latest attempt at making a man I can love. As you can see, it's not going well. Go! It's time I end this.
I fled, aghast. My brain reeled as I saw the mighty walls rushing asunder. This was the fall of the house of Jillian Rhys. As the windows blew out, one by one like candles, I swear. I could see her, holding the dead thing she had tried so hard to love. Her dream collapsed before me in a howling implosion of wood paneling and unidentifiable viscera. And then, it was quiet. There was one fewer home in Shelterwood. In the distance, I could see faint light from the town hall, shining through the clouds already dispersing, their purpose served. All I have of her is the record, the voice of Saddie DeRoso, a gift from William Brewster.
Next time on Shelterwood.
William, get up! Get up, God damn you!
What is the meaning of this? My God, man, it's nearly 4 a.m.
What is this?
It appears to be a record.
I got this from Jillian Rhys. She got it from you. Shelterwood, a Suburban Gothic, was written and produced by Stephen Indrisano and Indrisano Audio, LLC. This episode featured Stephen Indrisano as Nicholas DeRoso,
Sam Stark as Solomon Crockett,
Naya DeRoso as Monica Mandeville,
Christian Cruz as Adam Smith,
Sarah Griffin as Professor Jillian Rhys,
Leah Bergantino as Adigale Ross,
Greg Tariloff, Man-Thing,
Karim Kronfli as William Brewster.
Directed by Sivan Raz
and Madeleine Regina.
Songwriting by Emily Branam.
Theme composition by Ali Hylton.
Sound design by Brad Colbrook. Additional music by Monument Studios.
Dialogue editing by Sam Stark.
Transcripts by Rook Mogavero.
Production by Hannah Wright.
Special thanks as well to our executive funding producers, Cam Collins and the Fellowship of the Breaking Dawn, a.k.a. the Vermont Party Association. Although some of the locations, people, and events in Shelterwood may seem real, worry not. This is a work of fiction. Thank you for listening. A Bloody FM production.